Hello, and welcome to the Nights in a Nightmare Let's Play. This is video 4, covering Scene 2. Before we start, I want to let you guys know what happened. I was originally recording this Scene 2, and as I was recording I noticed a little stutter, but I didn't think anything of it. So I went on to finish the round, and then hit a save point and saved it. Unfortunately, when I went back to look at the video I recorded, it was all desynced and it was choppy and it was just a complete mess. I don't know what happened. I have an idea that it was probably something stupid like iTunes tried to update. Something like that. Anyway, the bad news was that I had saved, so I was beyond Scene 2 already with a save point and no way to go back. Well, since this was so early in the game, I went ahead and just started a new file over again, and I ran through Scene 1 real quick like. It took about 5 minutes. Just to make you guys aware, that's what I did. Hopefully I'll be able to avoid this in the future, or at the very least I'll recognize the warning signs so I won't save myself into a corner again. If I get to Scene 20 or something and then all of a sudden I have the same problem, I don't know what I'll do in that case. Probably cry about it. Alright, another disclaimer, I'm fighting a cold. My throat's it's not looking good. I think it's going to get worse as the time passes. As I cough, and I know I will, I'll edit those out, so there might be some weird pauses where I'm not talking. Assume I'm hacking my lungs out at that point. Alright, anyway, let's move on. So, last time we wrapped up Scene 1 by completing a diagonal in the Monster Matrix, and we got a little story afterwards, and now here we are. So, there's a lot to take in. Check out the bottom screen. First thing before we even start, once again I'm going to mute the DS. The replacement song this time is from Super Metroid. This is the Brinstar Red Soil theme. Moving on, there's a lot of new information on that screen, but the good news is we have a good foundation of the gameplay now. We know how to attack, we know how to use the action phases, we know how to get items and recruit knights, we know how to win a scene, and we know how to lose a scene. So right now, we really know enough to get us through 80% of the game. There are a ton of details to cover, but we know most of the mandatory information now. So let's put it to use. Once again, check the bottom screen. There's certainly a lot of stuff on it. Look at all that stuff. First thing to notice are the silhouettes. Just like how Johann was a silhouette in the first scene, we have two new ones now, two more knights that the game is providing me. And just like Johann, they're not permanent additions to my army unless I recruit them. So let's see who we have here. We have a red silhouetted guy, another warrior. His silhouette is red. That means his elemental affinity is fire. Johann's elemental affinity was neutral, so that's why his silhouette is white. Let's see if I touch him with the stylus. We get a little information on him. Just like Johann. Looks like his name is Bon Clavel. And there's a yellow banner stating a key item will make them join. The yellow banner tells me right now, yes, I have that item in my possession. If we look at the top screen, we get some additional information. When we did this with Johann, I didn't call to attention the warrior artwork. Each knight class has a portrait like this. I really like the detail in the armor and the weapon, and the relatively simple face. It makes an interesting contrast in my opinion. And plus it's pretty cool looking armor. Anyway, on to Bond's stats. His class is warrior. Elemental affinity fire, vitality 40, law index and chaos index, yeah, they're not too shabby. Loyalty 41%, and race Nestico. I can also double tap Bond to swap in Johann. Hey, welcome back, Johann. I'll actually be using Johann for most of this game, but I need to put Bond back in there so I can recruit him. So get out of here, buddy. There we go. So, Bond is another warrior that we can potentially add to our roster. And just like any other warrior in the game, he attacks northwest and northeast. He has the same attack pattern as Johann and any other warrior. And finally, he is stationary. He can't move from that spot. So, we'll make a point to recruit him, but what's this? We have another silhouette, but this one's blue and facing southward. So let's see what's going on here. As with any other knight, we can touch with the stylus and get some information. So, it looks like this knight's name is Moira Chetalets, I guess. And check out the top screen. Her class is Hermit, and she has a cool class portrait too. Anyway, her stats are Class Hermit, Elemental Affinity Ice, Vitality 34, Law Index is looking pretty good, Chaos Index a little less, but it's fine, Loyalty 44%, and Race Nessico. Now that's all fine and well, but look at the bottom screen again. As a Hermit, she can attack southwest and southeast, but not northwest or northeast. Her attack pattern is different than a warrior as well. If you look, she's kind of doing some kind of a diagonal thing in front of her. If we switch to Chaos, it's like 2 lanes that she'll attack. We're not really getting much in the southwest direction, and that's because there's just no land there. Otherwise, it'd fill in where her attacks would land. She's also stationary, just like a warrior. She can't move from her spot. Well, lucky for us, these guys seem to be positioned pretty well. She's in the upper screen, while Bond's in the lower screen. So really, those guys are doing a decent job of covering the map. If I were to take Moira out and put Johan in her place... Alright, Johan, let's go get him. Hey, no, buddy, hey, no, we're back here. Dude, oh no. Yep, he's a warrior. He only faces northwest, northeast. So, that's not going to work, obviously. As you can see, positioning is crucial in this game, as well as taking advantage of the knight's attack capabilities. Alright, let's put Moira back in there. If you see, Moira and Bond can do a decent job of covering the map. Bond's going to have to deal with most of this stuff down here, but Moira's got some action going on up here as well. Speaking of which, so let's check out the new monsters. Let's see, we got a Dryad here. When we touch with the stylus, we don't see a patrol route like we did for the Ghost or the Blob or the Skeleton from the last scene. Alright, let's check out the top screen. First things first, that's a sweet portrait. It's this really cool looking tree hag thing. It's kind of a cross between, you know, I'm gonna get you with my creepy fingers and, you know, Grandma, put a bra on. Anyway, we can go through its data just like the enemies from Scene 1. So, Class Dryad, Elemental Affinity, Lightning, HP 2700, Movement Type is Ground, Experience 15,750 if I kill it. Attack 1, Fruits of Wrath. Attack 2, Foliage Assault. And just like before, if I touch with the D-pad, I'll get more data. Let's see, Fruits of Wrath. Time, -3, 2 shots. A ripe fruit that splits. Foliage Assault. Time, -1.5, 8 shots. A pattern of gently falling leaves. And notice it can dive underground. Well, that special move is pretty interesting. If you look on the bottom screen, there are Dryad fences here, 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 and here. These are actually spots that the Dryad can pop up after it dives into the ground. The game appears to be treating them as though they're objects that can be broken. If you see that I'm hitting it with my stylus, it doesn't give me a notification that there's an item in there, like it does for, say, this box. Open to obtain a key item. Nothing here. So, I'm not sure if I can break these, but if I can, and I do, I'm not going to get anything significant from it. Although I imagine I deny the Dryad the spot. If you notice, these Dryad fences are different colors too. We've got a green one, a red one, a blue one, and a white one. And there's actually a yellow one here too. The Dryad will change its elemental affinity to that color when it appears there. So another complication. Alright, let's see what else we have here. There's a gross spider on the field. Let's get his story. So I touch the stylus to him, and he has a bit more elaborate path than the other monsters we've seen so far. At the top screen, his portrait's pretty good, but the text covers his slimy face. Looks like if you stare into his butt, you'll be hypnotized. Well, someone do me a favor and make a Kim Kardashian joke. Anyway, let's see what attacks he's got. His class is Tarantula. Elemental Affinity is Fire. HP 2500. Movement Type is Ground. Experience is 17,000. Attack 1, Arachnophilia. Yuck. Attack 2, Lash Out. Alright, press the D-pad. Arachnophilia. Time, -3, 16 shots. Spectral spiders scatter all over. Okay. Lash Out. Time, -2, 4 shots. Bullets that will bounce around. And notice when it rears. Alright. another monster for the kill matrix. What else do we have here? Nope, we got a snow elf. Quite a wide patrol route on this one, but the elf actually will be idle until we disturb it. If we go to the top screen, I like this portrait too. This artist certainly has a lot of talent. Let's check out the moves. Class is Sprite, Elemental Affinity Ice, HP 800, Movement Type Air, Experience 18,750 if I kill it. Attack 1, Meteoric Fall, Attack 2, Dandelion. Meteoric Fall, time -3, 1 shot, a falling star with a long tail. Dandelion, time -5, 25 shots. Holy shit. A giant flower sheds its petals. And notice it's small and very annoying. And brother, I can attest to that. Yeah, these are small and they're freaking annoying. Alright, so we have 3 enemies on the field this time. If you notice, our monster matrix has grown as well. It used to be a 3x3 grid, now it's a 4x4 grid. So that means a total of 16 monsters available for this scene. It also means we need to kill 4 in a row to win. If you check out the upper left corner of the bottom screen, it looks like we have 7 rounds to do that. That won't be a problem. Another thing to point out though is that there is no monster slots prior to this round. There never is monster slots prior to the first round. It's only for setting up rounds 2 and up. Alright, we have the stage enemies figured out, but our first priority will really be recruiting the knights. So, this is a new knight, a new stage with new knights to recruit. So first things first, we see if we have the relevant key items. So let's go to the inventory. I'm sorted by table, we'll sort by list, and sure enough, there's 2 highlighted ones. Let's see what they are. Wedding ring. Moira may have a connection to this. Alright, let's load it up. Let's go to the next one. Favorite jug. Bond may have a connection to this. Alright, let's put it in there. So, I have 4 inventory slots, and 2 of them are reserved for these key items so that we can recruit our knights. That leaves 2 more slots in our inventory, so a weapon for each knight should work out. Alright, our next priority after we recruit these guys is to get the key items in the stage. So let's check out the situation. We have a wooden crate, a sign, and a patch of grass, grassland. These are the objects that the game is telling me have key items inside them. So getting those will be my next priority. If the enemies manage to get themselves killed while I'm messing with the objects, that's all fine and well, but I'm not going to focus on them until I've gotten the items. So, how do I get the key items? Well, remember I need to beat up on the objects until the item pops out, and then I grab it. So I need to decide which knight's going to beat up on which object. Let's check out Bond in Law Phase. It looks like he can actually reach all the objects. So that is to say he can reach the box, the grassland, and the signpost. So I want Bond to have a weapon in Law Phase. Let's go to the inventory. Go to the table, sort by warrior, and let's see what we have here. If you remember Slasher, there it is, sure enough, and it works in Law Phase. You may remember that in the past video I had like 6 or 7 of these. When I went to that inventory screen and cut it out, what I did was I stacked these together. So now there's only 1. It reduces the clutter. Alright, so Slasher will work. Let's see what else we have. Cross Axe. That unfortunately only works in Chaos Phase. Not interested. Of course, the Frozen Axe. That was the weapon we used the most in the last round, or the last scene, excuse me. I actually have a Frozen Axe +1 now. That was loot from the last scene. And of course that works in Chaos Phase, so no good to me now. Barbarian Axe. Yep, that works in Law Phase. However, to the right of the title of the weapon, it says level 8. If we go back and check, Bond himself is only level 4. It says on the ribbon at the bottom there, and also on the silhouette. So he cannot wield that axe, unfortunately. So that's not going to work. That leaves us with the Slasher, and you know what, that's fine. Alright, we highlight, Bond lights up, yep, I'll take it. Alright, so Slasher it is, and Bond's job is going to be to beat up on these objects. Now there is some risk in beating up these objects. If they're a container like a jar or a pot, it gets complicated. And look at this, a box, so yep, a container. If you look, each object has a damage meter. In the bottom right corner, there's a percentage. I need to inflict damage on the object until it releases the key item. And for example, this crate will have 3 statuses as a container. First it starts out normal, then I beat it up for a little while. Eventually, when it takes enough damage, it becomes opened. So it went from normal to opened. When it's opened, the item inside pops out and I grab it. However, it can be damaged further to put it into fragile status. The fragile status always occurs when the damage reaches 100%. The bad news is I can potentially bypass the open status and go straight to fragile if I inflict too much damage on the object. So let's say, for example, the open status is 90 to 99% damage. So I beat it up to 80%, then I hit it too hard and it jumps up to 100% damage. Whoops, we're now in fragile status, so we skipped the opened. If that happens, the object was never opened and the key item is trapped in there, and I can't get it out. The key item that only appears in this stage. So, ouch. If that does happen, the good news is that when it's in the fragile status, the object can be completely destroyed. If you destroy it, the object will respawn a few rounds later with the key item inside, and you can try again. Only warriors can completely destroy an object, so they need to attack it with a skill attack when it's in fragile status. And remember, the fragile status only occurs when the object is at 100% damage. So, to make this clear, any character can attack an object and bring it to open status and get the key item. In addition, any character can continue to beat on it and get it to fragile status. However, once in fragile status, only a warrior can then completely destroy the item. Unfortunately, this is a point of contention I have with the tutorial. Generally, the tutorial is very well written and it gets the point across. However, at least for me, when I was learning how this game worked, I really struggled with this concept. I was under the impression that only warriors could get key items from objects, and that's not true. Any character can do it at all. The only thing special about warriors is that they can destroy the object afterwards when it's in fragile status. Well, since I thought only warriors could get items in the first place, that made getting items a real hassle. And in some cases it's flat out impossible, because there's some objects that are in places that no warrior could reach. So that drove me nuts. Anyway, reading the tutorial now, it makes sense, but I think they should have made a better distinction between breaking the object and flat out destroying it. Regardless, it's all water under the bridge now, and it's most likely my own fault for not getting it. I guess that's just one pitfall that I don't want other people to have to deal with. Okay, one last thing to mention on the subject. So, we know that the key items are inside objects, and we need to beat them up in order to get the key items out. We also know that we need to be careful not to bypass the open status, or the key item will be trapped inside. And in that case, our only option is to destroy the object with a warrior, and then let it respawn. Fine. But guess what? We need another level of complication here. So, it turns out there are some key items that only appear when an object respawns. That is to say, it won't be in the object on its first spawn. So what happens is you need to open the object, grab the first key item, then destroy the object, let it respawn, and then it reappears with a new key item in it. Okay, come the fuck on. Funny story, in the thread there was actually a poster that mentioned they had a physical reaction when I ended the first scene because they thought I left behind a key item. And when I know a funny story, when I went back and replayed scene 1, they were right. There actually was one. I needed to destroy the candelabra right away and give it a chance to respawn so I could destroy it again and get the frickin' Soul Crucible, I think is what it's called. So, Man Dancer, you were right. You were right all along. Okay, this brings me to a disclaimer, which I hate to do, but I will do my best, but let's be honest, I am definitely not going to get every key item. This game is utterly cruel to people with OCD about collecting things. Unfortunately, as much as it will drive me nuts, I need to accept reality. There will be key items that I miss. There will be knights I can't recruit. I've made a sort of peace with that, and I'm sorry. Okay, that went on longer than I thought it would. Alright, as for Moira, let's check out what to do with her. If we check the monsters, the only one she can really reach is this snow elf. If the dryad appears here or here, then yeah, Moira can hit that, but there's no guarantee. So, Moira's main focus will be the snow elf. If we highlight the snow elf, it tells us it's an ice elemental. Well, I guess that makes sense. I haven't seen too many fire-based snow elves. Anyway, it'd be to my advantage to use a fire-based weapon on this monster. And since Bond is going to have a law phase weapon, it would be best to give Moira a chaos phase weapon. So let's see if we have one. Alright, we sort by hermits. And I want a fire weapon, so let's see what we got. Alright, Searing Edges. The last question, does this work in law phase or chaos phase? And look at that, perfect. It works in chaos phase. This is just what I want. Alright, get in there. Alright, we are close to being done here. Let's just do a quick review. I need to recruit these two knights. Whoops. You and you. Then I need Bond to get to work on getting these key items. And then if he manages to get them, I'll focus on the enemies. I don't know how long this will take. It went pretty smooth the last time I attempted this, but I could always foul it up, so I'm not going to hold any promises. Bond has a law weapon. Moira has a chaos weapon. They have their items that will recruit them. I think I'll be able to keep my gems up a little bit. There will definitely be times when I'll have to get to some gems. But if the fog starts to lift in one of the phases, I can switch and then the other knight can help cover. So, this is a long to-do list. We'll see what happens. Alright? Once we get past all of that, though, really this round's going to be mostly review. There's some new enemies and some new knight classes, but the gameplay will be mostly stuff we already know. I'll still equip items, I'll still charge up my knights, I'll still swing at them. I do want to mention one new gameplay element. Sometimes when I attack an enemy with a knight that out-levels the enemy, a black and yellow arrow pointing down will appear over the enemy after the attack hits. What that means is the game wants to reward me for out-leveling the enemy. So if I touch that down arrow, I'll get some bonus damage on the enemy. That's called punishing the enemy. So if it's safe to reach the enemy, I'll go for it. If it's not safe, I won't worry about it. Otherwise, I expect this to be a normal fight. Okay, let's get it on. Defeat enemies and fill one line of kill markers within 7 turns. We can do that. We're going to do that. Alright, let's do it. Alright, let's give these guys... Oops, I'm going to talk to these guys first. Alright, she has some survivor's guilt, sounds like.
It's my turn, eh?
That's a good question. Alright, let's get you guys recruited. Alright, apparently a wedding ring, so I guess she's got a special someone. I don't know how that makes her a hermit, but whatever. Sounds like he's heard that a million times, huh? Alright, they are recruited. Oh, damn it. They're recruited, so let's get the items. Alright, bomb. I'm aiming for the grass, the box, and the signpost. Got that. Got that. Alright, 2 items grabbed. Signpost is next. Oh. Alright, got that item too. Alright, the items are gotten. I can now beat on the enemies. And maybe I won't take hits like a chump. I'm waking up that elf. Now it's pissed. Ooh.
You shall be engulfed.
It's my turn, eh?
Alright, come on, spider. I'm waiting for the spider to get into my attack range. There we go.
Fall into the abyss.
Alright. Can't reach that dryad with my weapon equipped, but I can hit some regular attacks and get some gems. Of course, it just dodged me. Alright, in that case, we'll kill him with Moira.
You shall be engulfed.
Alright. They are dead, and I have 1 magic point left. Alright, C+, I'll accept that. I've gotten 3 key items, and that hopefully is all that's on there. I'm going to go ahead and try and destroy those objects completely so that they have a chance to respawn. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Alright, monster slots. I'm not going to be too particular right now. You, and you. Alright. Looks like that signpost did get destroyed. The grass is fragile, it's at 100%. Warrior skill may break this. Alright. And the crate is open, but it's not fragile yet, so I need to beat on it a little bit more. In the meantime, though, I'm going to beat on these enemies too. Alright, I think I have a pretty good setup here. I'm going to leave the weapons as they are, because it seemed like it was working out pretty good. So, let's move on.
Engage.
I'm going to go for this Dryad first.
I'll take you down. You shall be engulfed.
Alright, he's down.
I'll take you down.
Alright, I'm going to attack without equipping because I want some gems. The blob split himself. Now they're both dead. The grass is destroyed. Crate's at fragile. Destroyed. Alright. I'm gonna beat on this so I can get some gems. Alright, let's put this guy away. And he survived. Oh. That was a down arrow that I touched. It got some bonus damage. Dang. I'm surprised this guy is still alive. There we go. Alright, let's see. Not my best work. Don't care. Alright, monster slots again. If you look at the bottom screen, in the right-hand column, the red monsters, there's a fairy that's got an outline, a dark red outline. That's a high-level monster. I'm going to go for it. So... Oh, I missed it. Like an idiot. Alright, that's fine. You and you. Ah, that spider's high level. That'll do. Alright, so if you check the ribbon at the bottom, his level is 16. The other enemies is level 1 and 2, so that's quite a jump up. He's got quite a restricted path, doesn't he? Alright, well, sad day for him. He's going to be easy pickings for Bon. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Let's just keep pushing. And I'm going to get a quick kill, hopefully with Moira on this blob.
You shall be engulfed.
Hit the spider. Ooh. Spider survived, but if he survives that one. There we go. Oh, he's still alive, damn. Alright, Moira hit that guy. That Dryad's going to be troublesome because it's fire elemental there, and she's using fire daggers, so he's only going to take 25% damage. And that's fine.
You shall be engulfed. Follow my lead. Forward.
It's my turn, eh? Break out. Fall into the abyss.
There we go. Alright, looks like I fared a little better there. Alright, I'm gonna go for that fairy and hopefully get it this time. There we go. Alright. As before, the flashing white monsters, if I kill them, that'll end the round. I'm not ready to do that quite yet. And the main reason is because I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this, so I want the round to go longer than it needs to. I'm going to grab this Dryad there. And unfortunately, the yellow monsters, I don't have a choice. All of them would, upon their death, end the round. So I'll grab you. Alright, this is probably going to be the last turn. Just to make things fun, I'm going to pick a fight with this fairy. I'll probably regret it. But aside from that, I think it's okay to leave the weapons where they are. I should really swap in Johann, but Mon's been doing a good job, so he can finish this out. Alright. This is turn 4 of 7. Alright, fairy, you're ugly and your mother dresses you funny.
I'll cleave your skull. You must
There you
be
go.
joking. Break out. Fall into the abyss. The enemy's hurt. This is it.
I don't want that.
It's my turn, eh? Break out. Fall into the abyss.
Alright, fairy's down. Let's kill the blob and be done with it.
Break out. Fall into the abyss.
Alright, we did it. Verbal. Alright. If you look at the top screen, turns taken was 4. Actions 29. I assume that means attacks. Collection 80.19. It's my understanding that that's the treats that come out of the enemies. So it's not as though I missed a key item, I don't think. It's more like when the gems pop out, how many of those did I grab? And it looks like I got 80% of them. Time lost, 7 seconds. That's from monster attacks. And then the drive tech record, which I don't really get that well, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. Alright, don't know who you're talking about, but sure, I promise. Alright. Alright, so we saw Moira and Bon doing nightly things. And I have an opportunity to save. Against my better judgment, I'm going to do it. Alright. And here we are again at the item screen. Same as last time, I'm going to cut out my fidgeting around. You're not missing much now. I don't really have much to talk about. Hopefully I'll do the cut a little better than I did last time. We'll see though. Alright, I'll see you on the other side. Alright, we're back. You didn't miss much. All I really did was dump some experience points into both Moira and Johann. Johann's going to be our warrior, and Moira's going to be our hermit. Okay, let's move on. And yes, I would like to save again. Alright, here we are at scene 3. So what did we learn from those cutscenes? We did learn that there's apparently some kind of a rivalry between another race on this land, the Tiamats, and it appears that before he died, the king was trying to make some kind of a truce, a blood tie, as it were. We also learned that presently the knights are kind of like the Keystone Cops. They're running around, they seem poorly organized. In spite of that, they are in hot pursuit of the Armored Maiden, although she doesn't seem to be taking it very seriously. Alright, this is a good point to stop. I'm pretty happy with the pace we're going here. We just did scene 2 in one video. I have a feeling this Let's Play is going to pick up, although there's still a ton of details to cover. This video is mostly intended to be review, so we could go over again, how to attack. You could watch me equip items, that kind of thing. There will be more to learn, but as I mentioned, we really know how to play most of this game right now. Okay, I think that'll do for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.